What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. We got a few topics we're going to touch on today. Everybody been asking me, Truth, let's get to these topics, man. Let's get back to it. So today we're going to get back to it. This episode 4 of the Truth Podcast. I appreciate the love. Today I got 3 topics. ChiefKeef. That's kind of weird because I speak about ChiefKeef every day. I'm not sure if anybody needs to know any more about Keef. We got Gherbo Lil Bibby as a topic. I think that's dope because of that interview that went viral with 16 shot of visuals. We finally get a chance to speak on that again. And then FBI, the feds. That's strong. So we're going to jump on it with ChiefKeef today. In my opinion, ChiefKeef like a fucking psychic. Just think about it. ChiefKeef seen all this shit before everybody else seen it. That's why he got the fuck on, never came back, didn't fuck with nobody, didn't get nobody no features. He don't know you no more. You know, but if you make it big and successful and get rich and make it to the top, he might fuck with you. He might open up the door and let you in. But until then, he ain't fucking with nobody like that. ChiefKeef knew who the thirsties was when he was fucked up, so you know you even thirstier now that he got some assets. You gotta understand that. ChiefKeef was one of the first artists to feel the brunt of the war out here. He was losing family members early in this shit, from his stepbrother, cousins, close friends and shit. What Lil Durk going through right now, Keef was going through that shit 10 years ago. People don't realize that. Then, you know, he got the ops want to beef with him, the police trying to beef with him. Then he got into it with his old blockians. That made it dangerous. Keef automatically knew, I ain't fucking with nobody no more. It's over with. I got to cut ties, all kind of shit, because the back door open, something happened to me. T-Roy got to beefing with Main 4CG. Main ended up linking up with ChiefKeef, became close friends. It was a beef with them. You know, T-Roy was insinuating little sneak disses about Keef, even though they were cool. We all seen the boss top shit that happened with Keef. We all seen that OTF video that went viral with the twins was saying shit like ChiefKeef ball out and them some bitches, we gonna rob their head and they come back. We don't know if they was having a bad day, but that video went viral. Keef seen that shit. Keef not crazy, man. Think about it. What the fuck would happen right now if Keef still had an apartment in O-Block? Think about that. Deadly. You get what I'm saying? Keef understood that. He got the fuck on. You got to remember, Keef lost Capo. Keef lost blood money. Then he lost his stepbrother. Then the police trying to ban him out here. Then the ops looking for him. Then his homeboy started seeing internet shit about him. Keef knew it was no way to walk around Chicago no more like that. Everybody be talking about he had a warrant. The ChiefKeef like the type of nigga who scared of a motherfucking warrant. He went up in there to Ramsey the Great in them crib, put the knuckles on Ramsey the Great, beat him with an AK, a Uzi, all got this shit. ChiefKeef ain't worried about no motherfucking warrant. Ain't no ChiefKeef. He worried about them niggas with them keys that's opening up that door. I tell people that. I think Keef is very smart, and you can tell Keef has some real leadership around him. He had some niggas around him that told him quick, soon you sign a deal, soon your name sign a deal. Get the fuck out of here. That's what he did. He took everybody who cared, everybody who he cared about, everybody who meant something to him. He took them, the rest he left in the hood. Never to come back. Not giving nobody no features, none of that shit. Distance himself all away from them. A lot of people feel like Keef not being in Chicago, being in O-Block, having the Chicago scenery around him, having all the niggas in the videos around him, what kind of made him fall off. I don't think so. Me personally, I think he was cloned too much. I think nobody had a chance to miss ChiefKeef because everybody had dreadlocks on their head. There was no chance to miss ChiefKeef because everybody stood up like they were bowlehead. There was no chance to miss ChiefKeef because everybody rap video, they fell down and somebody picked them up. You didn't have no chance to miss him. It started to get watered down because everybody sounded like him. So Keef would drop a mixtape today, then the next artist would drop tomorrow sound like Keef, the next artist would sound like Keef, the next day somebody dropped sound like Keef. By the time Keef was ready to drop again, it felt like we heard him forever. To be honest with you, you know. But I think it's a little bit more than that too, especially when you hear songs where people is insinuating that Boss Top and Bezu diss Blood Money. Bezu said that wasn't no Blood Money diss. Then ChiefKeef posted a picture of like a bloody face and shit on his Instagram. A lot of people said that was Boss Top. And ChiefKeef had the captions or something like, don't hurt him. I told him don't hurt him. So a lot of people feel like Keef and Boss Top still got some shit going on. Boss Top actually responded to that. So, you know, Gherbo Lil Bibby. Oh, that interview was set on fire. Shout out 16 shot of visuals. That probably was the interview of the year. 16 shot of visuals dropped a bomb. No Limit Cairo exposed Gherbo Lil Bibby, say they created players. They wasn't really in the field like that. They created their lifestyle. They wrote it in a notebook, is what Cairo's saying. I found that weird though, because on the internet, it's plenty of pictures of G Gherbo with a lot of these legends. A lot of people who lost their life, who people consider legends. A lot of MLMB street niggas. A lot of street niggas who real in the field. Then you see G Gherbo in pictures of them when he was young. All his rap videos, he was in his neighborhood when he was young. So we found that confusing. How Herb not from over here? All his videos from over here when he was young, shit over here. So we understood it. Then again, you got to understand, maybe the hood feel like he ain't did enough. I mean, you making millions of dollars, you on all these videos, you flexing, you stunning. It's a lot of niggas who was sitting on that porch with you that was smoking them blunts and shit. Y'all was going half on that nickel sack. He had two, you had two, y'all got a $4 sack, and then y'all went and got a blunt. It was guys on the porch with you when y'all was smoking them $4 sacks, man, and y'all was telling stories about how y'all gonna get rich, you gonna put each other on, y'all gonna buy the block, y'all gonna move each other here. If one person get rich, I'm gonna take care of you, and then one person got rich and nobody did that shit. So, I'm not knocking what he said. I just think he might have said it a little bit premature. You know, G Gherbo might not be $50 million in. You know, you gotta let him run that bag up before he come back. And last time we checked, we didn't really see No Limit Cairo as a rapper. We didn't see him as a fashion designer, a beat maker. So we didn't really know how Herb could really help you. Besides just give you some money and say, hey, go some money, man, take care of yourself. Yeah, that would have been cool. But remember, when Herb wasn't rich and he was working at McDonald's, did he get paid on a Friday and come home and split a check with you? So you can't expect the guy to come and split a check with you. I get it, but I find that crazy, especially when they was insinuating that he did No Limit Wet a little dirty, said he supposed to took him to Egypt. Then we recently seen the video, seemed like Wet and Gherbo, then patched that up. When Lil Bibby responded, he responded in a joking manner. One thing I can say is, I believe G Gherbo and Cairo gonna make up. Trust me when I tell you this, that shit wasn't skin deep. Now don't get me wrong, it was some tough guy shit said on them lives. You know, I heard shit about kids and all kind of shit, but these guys know each other since kids. That's just woofing. I believe these guys gonna make up, in my opinion. NLMB gonna be strong, in my opinion, you know. I think that could have been patched. I think the internet instigated it a little bit more and make feelings stay a little stronger. But I think this is gonna get fixed, you ask me. No Limit Cairo, G Gherbo, I believe that's gonna get fixed, in my opinion. FBI Fed case. Whoa. Duck case got picked up by the feds. I'm hearing rumors about FBG Cash case being picked up by the feds. NBA Youngboy beat the feds. Casanova locked up with a Fed case. G Gherbo had a Fed case. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When the FBI come in, you pretty much done. Let's be honest, you know, if the FBI come in, it's 99% chance you finna get locked up and go to jail for a long time. Unless you broker a deal. They still gonna go to jail. Normally when the feds come in, ain't no beating them. I ain't never really seen the person beat a Fed case. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I ain't never really seen the street dude, the hood dude beat a Fed case. Now, I'm not saying people ain't beat the feds. I know you're gonna say Murder Inc. Shit, Ja Rule, Irv Gotti them beat the Fed case. You know, when you look into that shit, man, that clearly was a case about Supreme. You know, and they wanted Supreme so hard, anybody he knew or was close with, they pulled in the case. You look into that case, they didn't charge Irv Gotti with killing people, murdering people, being behind the drug enterprise. They say, look, he took drug money and made a record label with it. Money laundering. You know? And to be honest, a lot of people say, Irv Gotti, that man had shit to do with that. You can clearly tell he had Ja Rule. He was helping produce Jay-Z, produce DMX. This guy had money. This guy did not use no drug money to do this shit. Maybe he's guilty of being cool with a gang member, drug dealer who got a background and probably shouldn't been cool with him, especially what he doing big business, shouldn't been cool with him. But besides that, them guys got through in that Fed case. That wasn't really a Fed case to prosecute them guys, you know. NBA Youngboy, Fed case. You know, this wasn't a murder. This wasn't like a Fed case because NBA Youngboy's involved in 35 killings. Now maybe the people he's around. NBA Youngboy Fed case involved a pistol, a gun. To be honest with you, his bond was like $1 million, $1.2 million to get out of jail to bond out, have security at his house while he fight this case. I ain't never seen the $1 million bond for a gun ever in my life. If it wasn't $1 million, it was close to $1 million. I ain't never seen that type of money needed for a bond, for having a pistol. So this felt like some scam shit to run his account up, lock him up. This was clearly some police clout chaser shit. This was a gun case. I don't really say the FBI picked this up anyway, to be honest with you. So that's why I say, people confuse these cases like, man, they beat the feds. When we talking about murders, killings, racketeering, drug charges, I ain't never really seen the street dude beat those kind of cases. To be honest with you, this shit made for Al Capone, Elliot Ness. These type of cases ain't made for no street nigga. You won't lose being a street nigga. Think about it. Think about it. The Fed gotta prove that you're in the gang. Every neighborhood got a name for this shit. If you from Central, you might say I'm from C Block. If you from a block called Geranian, you might say shit, this J-Town. So every neighborhood got a name for it. The Fed's gonna make it seem like that's some gang shit. He's representing C-Town. C-Town, that's gang. This is the way they throw it up. How they gonna do it? They gonna say, you're rich and you link to a lot of street activity. Every nigga who became a famous rapper came from the streets. Gang members, drug dealers, murderers. I don't get that. That's like saying I'm linked to a few gang members. Bro, I grew up in Chicago. Every motherfucker on my block was in gangs. That don't mean I'm in the gang. So that's why I say when the feds come in, it's pretty much gonna be hard. That's why I say with like the whole O Block shit, this look kind of tough for those guys. Feds are in. Feds not coming off no hunch, man. I tell people that. Yeah, they get the strong hunch, but they got information. They got resources that we don't got. The day that feds arrested you, they probably been watching you for a year. You just don't know that. You think they done got a tip yesterday and came in and arrested shit. Nah, it ain't go like that. They been on you and shit like that. So that's why I say, man, we got to be careful, especially out here with the police. It seems like this rap shit, they really watching the rappers. That's all I can say. I'm not used to rappers catching Rico charges. Normally this for like gang enterprises, mobsters, like politicians that went crooked. I'm not used to regular street dudes getting these cases because if you ask me, it's just a tool to give a young guy 30 or 40 years. You get what I'm saying? So we got to be careful with this, man. But I appreciate the love, everything, man. I'll be back next week with the podcast. Remember, we only do the podcast on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It's when I'm dropping podcasts. During the week, we're going to go back to our regular blog. So I want y'all to hold me down, spread the word, chew back with the blogs. And the cool thing with this is, with the podcast shit, I'm going to have guests coming in there. Okay? So next week, I'm going to have a guest that's going to come in here, sit next to me. We'll have another mic. A guest going to come in and sit next to me. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about the real. I would love to sit down with an artist, and instead of talking about drill culture all day, we're going to talk about life. I want to know how's it to raise your kids. How's it being a father, just everyday life before the rap shit. If the rap don't work out, you plan on getting a job. Are we involved in God? Do we got any future plans? What's the goals? How to make the world better? I think this is dope, Now, we going to have the street shit, too. Don't get me wrong. It is truth tellers. And we have this street shit, too. But we also want to learn about the artists, We've been interviewing them for a year, getting the Grammys, the big Grizzly Bear thoughts. Now we want to learn more about the artists. But I appreciate the love. Before we get up out of here, I've been hearing rumors about Gherbo brother was shot and killed. I'm hearing rumors that a guy named Trey was shot and killed. I'm not sure if that's Gherbo blood brother. They might just be brothers, homies. Anything that happened in NLMB neighborhood, anything that happened over there, they gonna link it to Gherbo. That's why I say these Rico charges is dangerous. Because today, if a guy was to be shot on Lamron, they gonna link it to Lil Durk. Something was happening in Old Block, they gonna link it to King Von. And I just think that's so unfair because these neighborhoods have hundreds and thousands of people in them. Just to put it on a rap ain't cool. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's telling me truth. Bit.